Hi everyone, and welcome to Week 3 assignment, Cellular Respiration and Photosynthesis Explained, by Laura Green Wagner. What is cellular respiration? It's a series of metabolic reactions and processes that take place within cells of organisms such as plants, animals, and humans. This is when chemical energy from oxygen molecules or nutrients are converted into ATP, energy, and then releasing the waste products produced. The reactions involved in cellular respiration are catabolic reactions, meaning it breaks down large molecules into smaller ones that are more usable, releasing energy. Respiration is one of the major ways a cell releases chemical energy to fuel cellular activity. There are three main steps in cellular respiration, shown here in this diagram. Step 1, glycolysis. Let's call this the jump-starting step. It occurs within the cytoplasm of the cell and does not require oxygen to begin. Glucose, or sugar, is converted into a more usable form called pyruvate. It takes less ATP, energy, to start this process. The net yield, or product of the step, is 2 ATP molecules. Step 3 is called the Krebs cycle, or the citric acid cycle. We are now in the mitochondria within the cell. At this time, oxygen is required. The pyruvate that was produced in step 1 is converted and will be oxidized. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is the product. In this step, 2 ATP energy, 6 NADH coenzyme, and 2 FADH2, another coenzyme that helps with transferring electrons for more ATP production, is produced. If you would like to take a look at the diagram here, it gives us an explanation of what I'm referring to. Next, we are on to step 3, the complex stage, called electron transport chain. We are still in the mitochondria at this time and still require oxygen for this step. Electrons are now transferred from the previously produced NADH and FADH2 to several electron carriers. They are now used to create a proton gradient. These protons are used to power the enzymes, called ATP synthase. In the next slide, we can view this process together. Now we're on to photosynthesis. Through photosynthesis, plants can essentially feed themselves, and let's explore this process. Photosynthesis is an anabolic pathway, meaning it builds up the molecules into usable forms. There are two major reactions that occur in the chloroplast that combined make up photosynthesis. The formula for photosynthesis is shown below. In the next slide, we'll explain this process. Remember that we said there are two major steps in photosynthesis. They are called the light-dependent cycle and the light-independent cycle, also referred to as the Calvin cycle or dark reaction. The light-dependent cycle happens in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. These thylakoids are stacked neatly and are referred to as granum or grana for plural. In this reaction, by using water, chlorophyll, which is great at absorbing red and blue light, absorbs the energy from the sun, solar energy or photons, and transfers it into chemical energy. Water, H2O, is split, and oxygen, O2, comes out as the byproduct. The energy stored or saved in the form of electron charge carriers such as ATP, energy, and NADPH is created. And these are very important for the following steps. If you'd like to take a look at this diagram, it gives us an indication of what we're referring to. This is just a general diagram, kind of giving you a leeway to what we're referring to as a visual aid. The light-independent or Calvin cycle takes place in the stroma, fluid outside the thylakoids of the chloroplast. The chemical energy, ATP and NADPH, obtained from the light-dependent reaction carries out in the formation of the sugar molecule and the capture of carbon in carbon dioxide molecules. In this reaction, carbon dioxide is fixed, meaning with the help of a major enzyme, the inorganic carbon is changed or converted into a more usable form. Now that the energy from the sun is converted into ATP and NADPH, the cell has all the fuel needed to build more glucose and complex molecules like carbohydrates. So the light-dependent and light-independent cycle, which is happening simultaneously, creates glucose that plants require to survive, but also releasing oxygen to help support life on Earth. How generous! Photosynthesis is considered anabolic because it builds sugars out of smaller molecules, whereas cellular respiration is breaking sugars down into smaller molecules. From what we've learned so far, plants release oxygen, a byproduct of photosynthesis, and we breathe in oxygen so that our cells can carry out cellular respiration and generate ATP, or energy. Cellular respiration and photosynthesis are biological reactions in the environment that complement each other. Both have similar reactions that occur in a specific manner. In the process of respiration, oxygen and glucose yield water and carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water yield glucose and oxygen. Both cellular respiration and photosynthesis are parts of a mutually beneficial relationship. Photosynthesis cannot occur without cellular respiration, and cellular respiration cannot occur without photosynthesis. This is just an image kind of giving you an indication of how similar they truly are. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and leave any comments if you have recommendations for future videos. Thanks so much.